Good morning, dear young minds. Welcome back to biology session. And previous session we have discussed strategies for enhancement in food production, plant breeding particularly. That chapter was completed. Next chapter, ecosystem. Ecosystem also called ecological system. The term ecosystem was first coined by A.G. Townsley, scientist name. What is ecosystem? The structural and functional unit of the nature is called ecosystem. Clear? One food chain equals to one ecosystem. Right? And from this chapter, we are expecting at least one question, minimum one question, and maximum two questions. Right? Ecosystem structure and functions. One food chain equals to one ecosystem. Ecosystems are of various kinds. Grassland ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, forest ecosystem, and mountain ecosystem. Mountain ecosystem. All ecosystems mostly vertical except aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem is always inverted, upside down. But the rest of the all ecosystems are vertical. Hence, one food chain equals to one ecosystem. What is the structure and function of ecosystem? Just now I told one food chain equals to one ecosystem. What is food chain? Food association means association between organisms for food is called food chain. There is suppose all carnivores, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, top carnivores, all consumers depend on plants directly or indirectly. Therefore, there is a chain like association between producers and consumers, that is called food chain, because all consumers depend on plants for food, that is called food chain. It is one of the food chains. Primary producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and top carnivores. Top carnivores. Okay, top carnivores. These are the different tropic levels. Tropic levels also called energy levels. Each tropic level contains some energy, some biomass, living matter. Hence, each tropic level also called energy level. First, the base of the pyramid occupies by primary producers. Next, primary consumers. Primary consumers depend on primary producers. Secondary consumers depend on primary consumers. Tertiary consumers depend on secondary consumers. Similarly, top carnivores depend on tertiary consumers. Here, primary consumers also called herbivores. Herbivores. Okay, like cattle, cow, sheep, goat, etc. All cattle are called primary consumers or herbivores. Secondary consumers also called primary carnivores. Tertiary consumers also called secondary carnivores. Top carnivores also called tertiary carnivores. These are the another names of terminology. So, one food chain equals to one ecosystem. Hence, ecosystem also called ecological system. Ecological system. Next to what are the components of ecosystem? Components. Components of ecosystem. Productivity, decomposition, productivity, decomposition, energy flow, energy flow, nutrient cycling, nutrient cycling. Important. What are the components of ecosystem? One very important NEET objective question. There are 4 components in ecosystem: productivity, decomposition, energy flow, and nutrient cycling. First one, productivity. What is productivity? The rate of production of biomass is called productivity. The rate of production of biomass means living matter in living organism is called productivity. Productivity are of various kinds. Primary productivity, gross GPP, gross primary productivity, NPP, net primary productivity, SP, secondary productivity. Dear students, remember full form and their meaning. Primary productivity means the rate of production of biomass or organic matter by any living organism in a particular time, in particular period over given time is called primary productivity. GPP, gross primary productivity, means what? The rate of production of biomass or organic matter by living organism during photosynthesis is called gross primary productivity. NPP stands for GPP minus S. GPP, gross primary productivity minus respiration, equals to NPP, net primary productivity. Very important. Gross primary productivity minus respiration equals to NPP, net primary productivity. Respiration means some amount of energy released into surroundings in the form of heat during respiration. Hence, GPP minus R equals NPP, net primary productivity. SP stands for secondary productivity. It is mostly produced by consumers like primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and top carnivores. The term secondary productivity defined as the rate of production of new organic matter, important, new organic matter or new biomass by consumers, called secondary productivity. I am expecting one question compulsorily from this area, that is about productivity. Clear? Right? Next to decomposition. Next concept, decomposition. What is decomposition? After death of the plant or animal, dead plant parts and dead animal parts fall on soil, mix with soil. Some detritivores, example earthworm attack detritus. What is detritus? Dead organic matter is called detritus. Dead organic matter means what? Dead plant parts or dead animal parts called detritus. Detritivores, earthworm example, because earthworm feed on dead and decomposing organic matter, eat them and digest them. Hence, earthworm also called detritivores. So, in presence of earthworm, dead plant parts and animal parts completely eaten by earthworm and digest them and release organic manure into surroundings in the form of fecal matter. That is called vermicompost. Vermicompost is a nutrient fertilizer, natural organic manure. It is rich in all types of nutrients, both micro and macro nutrients. So vermicompost is good for all growing plants, particularly fruit yielding plants and vegetable yielding plants. Clear? Decomposition. So therefore, in presence of earthworm, complex detritus break down into simple particles. That is called decomposition. Decomposition process, it include 5 steps: fragmentation, fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification, and mineralization. Understood? 5 steps important. It is also very important concept for NEET objective and set exams. What are the steps in decomposition? 5 steps are there: fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification, and mineralization. First one, fragmentation. What is fragmentation? Complex state. Just now I said that complex state detritus break down into simple particles. In the presence of earthworm, detritive ore is called fragmentation. Because earth means soil, worm means organism. An organism which is living in the soil, which feed on soil and other organic manure, called earthworm. So earthworm's main food is soil along with the dead plant parts and animal parts. So earthworm attack detritus, break down into simple particles. That phenomena is called fragmentation. Next, leaching, the process of percolation of nutrients. That means nutrients go down into deeper layers of soil and precipitate in deeper layers of soil as unavailable form to the plants and as unavailable salts. Once I repeat, the process of percolation of nutrients, or nutrients go down into the deeper layers of soil and precipitate in deeper layers of soil origin which is not unavailable salt. That is called leaching. Next, catabolism. The best example, bacteria and fungus. Both bacteria and fungus play a crucial role in catabolism. Bacteria and fungus release some digestive enzymes on detritus. Digest detritus. After completion of digestion, digested matter absorbed through the surface of the bacteria and fungus. That is called catabolism. So bacteria and fungus also called scavengers. They act as municipality workers, scavengers. They keep our surroundings clean and hygienic. How? Means bacteria and fungus release some digestive enzymes on rest of the organic matter or detritus. So in presence of enzymes, complex detritus break down into simple forms. That is called digestion. After digestion, digested matter absorbed through the surface of the bacteria and fungus. Because in bacteria and fungus, where is mouth? No mouth. Where is mouth parts? No mouth parts. So they pick up nutrients through their body surface. The process of absorption of nutrients through their body surface is called saprophytism. An organism which performs saprophytism are called saprophytes. Example, bacteria and fungus. So these two microscopic organisms play a crucial role in catabolism. Understood? Next, humification. Humus means what? A process of formation of humus in the topmost layer of soil is called humification. Humus, one of the natural fertilizer, organic manure rich in all types of micro and macro nutrients. It is very essential for plant growth and development. Even no other microscopic organisms degrade humus. That means what? Of course, the degradation of humus is very slower process, time taking process. Humus is very less in weight, dark brown in color, located at topmost layer of soil. It contains all types of nutrients. It is very essential for growing plants, particularly fruit yielding plants and vegetable yielding plants, right? In the formation of Humification, humus, bacteria, fungus, earthworm, mushrooms. These microscopic organisms and some annelida members such as earthworm also play a crucial role in formation of humus. That's all. Next, mineralization means addition of minerals. Nutrient cycling means a cyclic movement of nutrients, soil to plants, plants to animals, animals to microbes or decomposers, decomposers to again soil, soil to again plants. It is a cyclic process. Cyclic process. In this cyclic process, all types of micro and macro nutrients successfully recycle soil to plants, plants to animals, animals to decomposers, decomposers to again soil. That is called mineralization. Mineralization. Understood? These are the 5 steps present in decomposition. I am expecting one question compulsorily from decomposition steps. Right? All of you remember all 5 steps in order sequence. Okay. First fragmentation, next leaching, then catabolism, humification, mineralization. Next concept, energy flow. Energy flow. Sun is an ultimate source of energy. Ultimate source, because all plants, even some microscopic organisms that are perform photosynthesis, pick up energy from sunlight in the form of photons. Hence, sun is a major source of energy. All living organisms pick up energy from sunlight in the form of photons. Energy transfer from one tropic level to another tropic level. First to producers to primary consumers. Next to secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and top carnivores. See, look here. First, P for, I wrote short form, try to understand. P for producers, PC primary consumers, SC secondary consumers, TC tertiary consumers. T means top carnivores. Producers pick up energy from sunlight in the form of photons, out of which some amount of energy transferred to next tropic level, but majority of amount lost in the form of heat into their surroundings. Heat. Look here, there are 2 arrow marks. Some amount of energy transferred to next tropic level, but majority of energy released into surroundings in the form of heat. Suppose plant pick up 100% energy from sunlight, means out of which only 10% energy transferred to next tropic level, rest of the 90% of energy lost into surroundings in the form of heat. Hence it is called 10% law. 10% law. 10% law. A famous scientist, Lindemann, first proposed 10% law. What is the meaning of 10% law? Means out of 100% of energy, only 10% of energy transfer from one tropic level to next tropic level. Rest of the 90% of energy released into surroundings in the form of heat. Hence it is called 10% law. Also called Lindemann's 10% law. Very important for objective exam. Suppose 10% of energy transfer from primary producers to primary consumers, out of which again 90% of energy lost into surroundings in the form of heat, and the rest of the 10% of energy only transferred to next to tropic level. From here to 10%, from here to 10%. Understood? Hence it is called 10% law. In such a way, energy continuously transfer from one tropic level to rest of the trophic levels. Hence, it is called energy flow. The process of flow of energy from one trophic level to next trophic level and successive trophic levels is called energy flow. Understood? It is the best example of food chain. Okay, food chain. Just now I told what is food chain. Okay, there is an association between plants and rest of the consumers. For what? For food. Hence it is called food chain. It looks like chain link process. Chain link process. Hence it is called food chain. A group of food chains combine to form food web. First food chain, second food chain, third food chain, fourth food chain, fifth food chain. See, like this, a group of food chains combine to form food web. It looks like spider web or fish net like structure. Hence it is called food web. Clear? Okay. Some general examples given in NCERT book. Go through NCERT book examples regarding food chains. Suppose goat. First grass, goat, man. Grass, goat, man. Another example, grass, insect, frog, snake, and eagle, etc. First food chain contains 3 trophic levels. First trophic level, second trophic level, third trophic level. First trophic level, second trophic level, third trophic level. Clear? But second food chain, it consists of 5 trophic levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Understood? So what is the total number, minimum and maximum number of trophic levels in each pyramid? Means minimum 3, 1, 2, 3. Maximum 5. Okay? First trophic level, second trophic level, third trophic level, fourth trophic level, and fifth trophic level. Trophic level also called energy level because certain amount of living matter, living biomass is available in each trophic level. That is the reason trophic level also called energy level. Energy level. So grass. Insects feed on grass. Frog feed on insects. Snake feed on frog. And eagle feed on snake. So in such a way there is a deep association between producers and consumers for food requirement. Such association looks like a chain link process. Hence it is called food chain. Therefore, several food chains combine to form food web. Food web. Understood? Food chain are of various kinds. Food chain are of various kinds. Grazing food chain, terrestrial food chain, not terrestrial, detritus. Detritus food chain, parasitic food chain. Food chains broadly are of 3 kinds. Grazing food chain. Grazing food chain example aquatic food chain. Aquatic food chain. I wrote short form aquatic food chain. Detritus food chain example terrestrial food chain. Terrestrial food chain. And a parasitic food chain example microbes. Microbes on plants and animals, etc. Broadly, food chains are of 3 kinds according to NCERT lines. Grazing food chain example aquatic food chain. Aquatic food chain and aquatic food chain example first two phytoplanktons means algae, diatoms, any other aquatic plants. Small fishes small fishes depend on plants, medium sized fishes depend on small fishes, and big fishes depend on both small and medium sized fishes. That is the best example of aquatic food chain. So aquatic food chain also called grazing food chain. Next, detritus food chain, example terrestrial food chain. Terrestrial food chain. Next, terrestrial means what? Earth, on the earth, like grassland, forest, mountain. These are all the examples of detritus food chain. Then parasitic food chain. Parasites, some microbes depend on plants or animals for food, called parasitic food chain. These are the different types of food chains, right? These all food chains combine to form food web. It looks like a fish net-like shape or spider web, hence it is called food web. Clear? That is about energy flow. Next to pyramids. Pyramids. Pyramids are of various kind. Ecological pyramids. Ecological pyramids. Ecological pyramids broadly are of three kinds: pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. Ecological pyramids. Ecological pyramids. I wrote short form. Pyramid of number. Pyramid of number is depend on number of organisms in each trophic level. Primary producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers or top carnivores. Okay. Pyramid of number. Suppose primary producers number approximately, suppose 3,55,000. Primary consumers number approximately 1,27,000, etc. And secondary consumers number 50,000, and tertiary consumers number 10,000. This is base of the pyramid. Base of the pyramid. Tip of the pyramid. Apex. Apex. Tip. Primary producers number is high than primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. See, primary consumers number less than primary producers, and secondary consumers number less than primary consumers. Similarly, tertiary consumers number less than secondary consumers. Hence, the morphological shape of the pyramid, it looks like a triangle shape. Triangle shape means upright. Upright. Hence, it is called pyramid of number. Compare with all consumers, producers number is high. So, pyramid of number is always upside, vertical. Of course, sometimes they depend on number of organisms in each trophic level. Pyramid of number mostly vertical, rarely inverted. Right? Next to pyramid of, when it is inverted means producers number is less than consumers, then it is inverted. And second one, pyramid of biomass. Pyramid of biomass. Pyramid of biomass also sometimes upright, sometimes inverted. sometimes upright and sometimes inverted. What is biomass? Fresh weight of an organism. Fresh weight or dry weight of an organism is called biomass. Okay. Producers biomass is high than primary consumers, and primary consumers biomass is high than secondary consumers. Similarly, tertiary consumers. Therefore, the morphological structure of pyramid, it looks like triangle shape. It is upright. Even pyramid of biomass also sometimes upright and sometimes inverted. Next, but pyramid aquatic food chain. Aquatic food chain. It is always inverted. Producers, primary producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers are top carnivores. Reverse. Inverted pyramid, the best example, aquatic food chain. Because number of plants. Aquatic plants, some examples: algae, chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae, diatoms, desmids, hydrilla, vallisneria, water lily, eichhornia. These are some examples of aquatic plants. Number of plants are less than that of primary consumers. In the primary consumers, number is less than secondary consumers. Here not number, biomass. I am telling about biomass. Primary producers biomass is lesser than primary consumers. Similarly, primary consumers biomass is less than secondary consumers, and secondary consumers biomass is less than tertiary consumers or top carnivores. So based on the concept of biomass, aquatic food chain pyramid is always inverted. Understood now? Okay, but terrestrial pyramid of biomass, in terrestrial always upright, right? Next concept, pyramid of energy. Pyramid of energy. Pyramid of energy. Pyramid of energy is always upright. Primary producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and top carnivores. Energy always flow from one tropic level to successive tropic levels, rest of the tropic levels. Just now I told 10% law, 100% applicable for pyramid of energy. Okay. Suppose 1000 joules of energy available in primary producers means, out of which 10%, that means 100 joules energy transfer to primary consumers. Next, 10 joules energy transfer to secondary consumers, and 1 joule of energy transfer to top carnivore. Because according to Lindemann's 10% law, out of 100% of energy, only 10% of energy transfer from one tropic level to next tropic level. Rest of the 90% of energy released into surroundings in the form of heat. Hence it is called 10% law. Private producers, their energy level approximately 1000 joules, out of which 10% only transfer to primary consumers, means 100 joules. Rest of the 900 joules released into in surroundings in the form of heat. Out of means only 10% of energy transfer to next tropic level. Hence it is called Lindemann's 10% law. Important. Pyramid of energy is always upright. Pyramid of number, sometimes upright, sometimes inverted. Pyramid of biomass, sometimes upright, sometimes inverted. Okay, particularly aquatic food chain is always inverted. Always inverted. Pyramid of energy always upright. These are the various types of ecological pyramids. We are expecting questions from this area. You practice objective questions that are given in assignment or your material, our college material, right? Next, after completion of pyramids, next concept to nutrient cycling. Nutrient cycling. Before that, irregular pyramids, irregular shaped pyramids. Irregular shaped pyramid. An example, big tree, big tree, insects and birds. Primary producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers. See, it is irregular shaped pyramid. The number of primary producers only one. Only one. That is a big tree. Number of insects about 10. Number of birds 2. Due to vary in their number in each tropic level, these types of pyramid are irregular in shape. Irregular in shape. The best example, an association, food association between tree, insects and bird. It is the best example of irregular shaped pyramid. NCERT book concepts. Number of tree only one, but it is very big in size. Tree example, banyan tree. Banyan tree, the best example. Insects, about approximately 10 insects feed on banyan tree, and 2 birds feed on 10 insects. Therefore, the shape of the pyramid is irregular. Hence, it is called irregular shaped pyramid. That's all. Next to ecological succession. Ecological succession. Before going to discuss about nutrient cycling, you must know ecological succession. Ecological succession. What is succession? Succession means a process of initiation of plants, creation of plants, occurrence of plants in empty place, empty area is called succession. It is again are of two kinds: hydrarch succession, xerarch succession. It are of two kinds: hydrarch and xerarch. Hydrarch succession, xerarch succession. Hydrarch succession occur in water. The best example, pond, lake, reservoir, etc. Xerarch succession takes place in desert areas or barren rocks, big rocks, boulders, barren rocks. Here you must know some technical terms. What is climax community? Climax community. What is serre? What is serre? Etc. Next to stratification. Stratification. Standing crop. Standing crop. Standing state, standing state. These terms, their meaning important. Okay. Climax community. Climax means almost final stage. Climax community is almost equilibrium to surrounding environment. Equilibrium to surrounding environment. That is called climax community. Suppose in Hydrarch succession or Xerarch succession finally leads to climax community, means forest. Forest is equilibrium to surrounding nature or environment. That is called climax community. So first to new plants means pioneer plants. Pioneer plants begins their life on empty area. Select an example, Xerarch succession. It begins on empty rocks or desert areas. Lichens. Lichens are the pioneer plants. Pioneer means first formed plants, first developed plants in empty area called pioneer species. Pioneer species. Take an example. It is a big rock. Big rock. Lichens. Lichens. You know well what is lichen? Lichens are the best examples of symbiosis. What is symbiosis? Two different living organisms living together and help each other, called symbiosis. Also called mutualism. Lichens are mainly made up of algae and fungi. Phycobiont and mycobiont. Phycobiont means fungus. Phycobiont means algae, algal member. Mycobiont means fungal member. Phycology, mycology. Two terms are there. Phycology means it is a branch of biological science dealing with the study of algae in a scientific manner is called phycology. Mycology means it is a branch of biological science dealing with study of fungi in a scientific manner is called mycology. Clear? So one algal member means one phycobiont, one mycobiont combined living together and both are benefited, called lichens. Lichens are the best pollution indicators because they will not grow, they won't grow in pollution areas, particularly air pollution. The best example, sulfur dioxide pollution. Sulfur dioxide pollution. They won't grow in sulfur dioxide pollution. The area where lichens are growing, surrounding area free from pollution. Hence, lichens are the best examples of pollution indicators. Clear? Here, fungal member release an acid called carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. Carbonic acid, a chemical compound that decompose rock. Hence, a complex state rock break down into simple soil particles. Once I repeat, fungal member release carbonic acid. Carbonic acid decompose rock. Hence, complex state rock break down into simple soil particles. But it is a very slower process, time-taking process. It takes several thousands of years. After formation of soil, other plants such as algae. After algae, bryophytes, then pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Step by step, all plants accommodate, begins their life in that area. That is called Xerarch succession. After some time period, empty rock area converted into climax community, that is called forest. Hence, forest is equilibrium to nature or environment. That is called climax community. Hope you understood. Yes, what is serre? What is serre? The term serre defined as a process of organisms, growing of organisms in particular area in certain time period is called serre. Next, stratification. Stratification means vertical distribution of different plant species in different areas at different levels is called stratification. Once I repeat, vertical distribution of different plant species like shrubs, herbs, trees. Shrubs, herbs, trees at different levels is called stratification. Next, standing crop. Standing crop means the amount of living matter or biomass available in each tropic level at a given time, at a particular time, is called standing crop. Once I repeat, the amount of that means certain amount of living matter or biomass present in each tropic level in a given time period is called standing crop. Standing state means the amount of nutrients such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus and calcium, etc. The amount of nutrients such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, calcium goes down into deepest layers of soil. Percolate in deepest layers of soil as unavailable form in any given time period. Is called standing state. Very important. Once repeat, a process of percolation of nutrients such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, calcium and the rest of the other minerals also go down into deepest layers of soil and precipitate in soil. This and all unavailable for growing plants. That is called standing state. Understood? Even water soluble inorganic components, not carbon. Okay, water soluble inorganic components go down into deepest layers of soil. That is called standing state. You don't confuse between stratification, standing crop and standing state. Three terms, their definition important. Sometimes they prepare questions based on these concepts. Understood now? That is about some important terminology. Next, to go through succession, hydraulic succession. A process of initiation of plants, origin of plants, occurrence of plants in water body is called hydraulic succession. It includes several steps. Steps in hydraulic succession. Okay. First one, phytoplankton stage. Second one, submerged plant stage. Third one, submerged free floating plant stage. Fourth one, marshmallow stage. Fifth one, scrub stage. Wait. Fourth, reed swamp stage. Reed swamp stage. Reed swamp stage. Fifth one, marsh meadow stage. Marsh meadow stage. And sixth one, scrub stage. And the last one, forest stage, also called climax community. Climax community. Understood now? These are the 7 steps. All of you remember all 7 steps in order. Definitely question paper setter prepare questions based on sequence steps in hydraulic succession. First one, phytoplankton stage. In NCERT book, 7 pictures given. Roughly go through all 7 pictures. Observe difference between step by step. Phytoplanktons means plants which float on topmost layer of water are called phytoplanktons. Example, chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae, algae, diatoms, desmids, etc. These are very small in size, float on topmost layer of water. These are the first plants or pioneer species in hydraulic succession, because succession begins from first plants called hydraulic succession or pioneer plants. Second step, submerged plant stage. Some plants begins their life at the base of the pond. Base means bottom of the pond. These plants rooted with the soil and the part of leaf slowly emerge above. Such plants are called submerged plants. That is called submerged plant stage. Third step, submerged and free floating plant stage. Both submerged and free floating means what? Some plants completely dipped in water, their root system attached with the soil at bottom of the pond, and free floating plants. These plants float on topmost layer of water. Example, diatoms, desmids, chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae, algae, etc. Hence it is called submerged and free floating plant stage. Followed by reed swamp stage. It is very important stage. Reed swamp stage is very important. At this stage, water body means pond slowly turn into terrestrial land. Hence this step is very important. This stage also very important stage in hydraulic succession. Clear? At this stage, aquatic bodies, water bodies like pond slowly turn into a terrestrial land due to joining of other types of plant species. Grass plants, okay, water lily plants, water hyacinth plants, and many other aquatic plants, and even some terrestrial plants also initially begins their life in reed swamp stage. So compare with the rest of the all 7 stages, it is very important stage. Next, fifth one, marsh meadow stage. At this stage, some bryophyte plants begins their life at this stage. Scrub stage. Some pteridophyte plants such as Equigetum, Selaginella, Salvinia, okay, Adiantum, like that, pteridophytes, and gymnosperm plants. Gymnosperms example, Pinus, Cycas, Netum, Ginkgo, Cedrus. These types of gymnosperm plants also begins their life at scrub stage. Followed by scrub stage leads to forest stage, which is also called climax community. All types of dicot plants, monocot plants, all terrestrial plants begins their life at this stage. Hence it is called climax stage, which is equilibrium to surrounding environment, nature. These are the 7 steps. Dear students, all of you remember 7 steps. We are expecting one question compulsory based on the steps in hydraulic succession, the sequential steps. Understood now? Regarding this important, some pictures also clearly mentioned. Finally, uh, aquatic pond convert into forest area. Hence, it is called climax community. That's all. Gerarch succession, just now I told. Gerarch succession begins on empty rocks, barren rocks, boulders, or desert areas, etc. etc. Gerarch succession begins with the pioneer plant species called lichens. Lichens, the combination of algae and fungi called lichen. Right? After lichens, lichens play a crucial role in formation of soil from decomposing rocks. Decomposing rocks. But it is a very slower process, time taking process. Due to earth pressure, earth temperature and sunlight effect, and moreover fungal member release carbonic acid. Due to the activity of carbonic acid, earth temperature, earth pressure and sunlight effect, complex means big rocks break down into simple soil particles. That is called withering process. Soil formed from rocks. This is a very slow process, time taking process. After formation of soil, once soil formed means other plants such as algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, all plants begins their life in particular area. That means what? After some time period, barren rock, barren rock or empty area also convert into forest, climax community. That is equilibrium to nature or surrounding environment. That is called Gerarch succession. Right? Now we will discuss nutrient cycling. Nutrient cycling. Nutrient cycling. It is also called biogeochemical cycle. Biogeochemical cycles. Bio means life, living organisms. Geo means a rock, air or water. A rock, air or water. Biogeochemical cycles. Broadly are of two kinds: gaseous cycle, sedimentary cycle. Gaseous cycle example nitrogen cycle and carbon cycle, out of which nitrogen cycle topic already covered in first PUC syllabus, mineral nutrition, nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle include 5 steps: nitrogen fixation, nitrogen assimilation, ammonification, nitrification, denitrification. These are the 5 steps of nitrogen cycle. The topic already covered in first PUC syllabus. Chapter name mineral nutrition. Last concept to nitrogen cycle only. You once go through nitrogen cycle. Now in this chapter we will discuss about carbon cycle. Carbon cycle, important. What is the percentage of carbon available in the soil? In the soil or in atmosphere, not soil, in atmosphere, about 49%. Okay, carbon. What is the percentage of carbon dioxide in atmosphere? 0.03%. CO2, carbon dioxide. Total plant body, animal body, basically made up of carbon. So about 49% of carbon available in organisms, not only atmosphere, even in organisms, because organisms pick up carbon from atmosphere, right? Just 0.03% of carbon dioxide available in atmosphere. Our main focus on carbon. In NCERT book, carbon cycle diagram clearly mentioned. Once roughly go through carbon cycle. Atmospheric carbon pick up by plants. During photosynthesis, plants pick up atmospheric carbon dioxide. Atmospheric carbon in the form of carbon dioxide. Plant utilize carbonized carbon for preparation of glucose. Glucose chemical formula C6H12O6. That is called photosynthesis. Here what happened? Carbon dioxide, carbon and oxygen both convert into glucose, right? So majority of carbon fixed by terrestrial plants, and next it goes to aquatic plants. Of course, actually 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. 1% means 25% land, 75% water. That means what? Majority of atmospheric carbon fixed by water. Aquatic plants, sorry, not terrestrial plants, small mistake. Aquatic plants, because 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Aquatic plants like Phaeophyceae, Rhodophyceae, uh, Chlorophyceae members, Diatoms, Desmids, rest of the all plants, water lily, Vallisneria, Hydrilla, many other aquatic plants are there now. So aquatic plants pick up majority of atmospheric carbon, and by taking carbon prepare food in the form of glucose. Next, through food chain, plant pick up carbon dioxide, prepare glucose, means food. Through food chain, carbon transfer to next trophic level. First plants to primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, top carnivores. In such a way, carbon transfer from one trophic level to rest of the trophic levels through food chain. After death of the plant and animal, dead plant parts and dead animal parts settle in soil, mix with soil. That is called decomposition. That means detritivores such as earthworm play a crucial role in decomposition mechanism. Whatever carbon available in dead plant parts and dead animal parts release out and mix with the soil. Okay, and again pick up by plants through their root system. In such a way, atmospheric carbon transfer to plants to animals, means all carnivores through food chain. After death of the plant and animal, dead plant parts, animal parts fall on earth, mixed with earth due to the activity of decomposers, earthworm, bacteria, fungus, etc. Again soil to plant, and even here some amount of carbon again re-add to atmosphere by addition by evaporation. And one more, some amount of carbon deeply seated in deeper layers of soil in the form of limestone or dolomite, and some amount of carbon deeply seated and settled as fossil fuels. Due to earth temperature and earth pressure, preserved plant parts burnt and convert into petroleum products like white petrol, brown petrol, diesel, kerosene, lubrication oil, grease, natural gas. These are all petroleum products. By making deep bore wells, we have to collect all petroleum products, transfer to fractional distillation methods. Means at industries level we can segregate white petrol, brown petrol, kerosene, diesel, lubrication oil, grease, natural gas, everything by fractional distillation method. Then petrol, diesel, kerosene widely using in automobile vehicles. White petrol and white kerosene widely using in planes, helicopter, aeroplane, rockets, etc. right? And from automobile vehicles, some amount of carbon discharge into surrounding atmosphere as exhaust smog. Exhaust smog contain hydrocarbons. So through vehicular exhaust smog, some amount of carbon again re-add to atmosphere. Next, go through aquatic food chain. Aquatic plants also pick up atmospheric carbon utilized by photosynthesis process. Through aquatic food chain, carbon transfer from one tropic level to next tropic level. First, aquatic plants means phytoplanktons. Phytoplanktons to small fishes, because small fishes feed on aquatic plants, and medium sized fishes feed on small fishes. Big fishes, large fishes feed on medium fishes. So next, after death of the even birds feed on fishes, some fishes. That is called aquatic food chain. Through aquatic food chain, carbon transfer from aquatic plants to rest of the tropic levels. After death of the aquatic plants and aquatic animals, their dead parts settle at bottom of the seas, oceans, any water body or any other water body. Then carbon deeply seated into, that means the carbon percolate into deeper layers of soil and settle in the form of calcareous shells, limestone or dolomite. Limestone or dolomite. So some percentage of carbon settle in deeper layers of soil in the form of calcareous shells or limestone and dolomite. By making deep bore wells or digging, we can collect this material. That's all. Therefore, it is a cyclic process. Atmospheric carbon transfer to plants to animals to decomposers, soil to again evaporation. One way. Atmosphere to aquatic plants, aquatic food chain. After death of the dead plant pods and dead animal pods, deposit at the bottom of the seas and oceans, thereby carbon discharge into deeper layers of soil and settle as limestone dolomite. That is second step. Third method, by making deep bore wells, we can extract petroleum products. Petroleum products widely using in automobile vehicles through exhaust smog. Vehicular exhaust smog, some amount of carbon re-add to atmosphere. Hence, in such a way, carbon rotate in a cyclic manner. That is called carbon cycle. Carbon cycle. Approximately 4 into 10 to the power of 13 kilograms of carbon fixed by entire biosphere in a year. How much carbon fixed by entire biosphere means approximately about 4 into 10 to the power of 13 kilograms of carbon fixed by biosphere annually means per year, right? Understood now? So 49% of carbon available in organisms, plants, animals, microbes, etc. That is about carbon cycle. I did not draw here carbon cycle. It is the NCERT. You roughly go through NCERT book concepts, right? Study picture carefully. Then read paragraph lines. Next, phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus cycle. Sedimentary cycle, best example, phosphorus cycle. What is the major source of phosphorus? Means rocks, rock minerals. Mixed rock, whether to form soil, to producers, take up, and some amount of phosphorus transfer from one place to another place, that is called runoff, then producers to consumers, to detritus, again soil. Even dead plant pots also called detritus. First, rock minerals, because just now I told rocks are the major source of phosphorus. Due to earth temperature, pressure, and sunlight, heavy winds, complex state rock wither to form small soil particles. Along with soil, phosphorus minerals also transfer to soil and settle in the soil. Producers means plants. Plants stand on soil with root system. Through root system, plant pick up bulk amount of phosphorus fertilizer and utilize for their regular metabolic activities. That is called take up. Phosphorus take up by the plants through their root system, and some amount of phosphorus run off through floating water, stream of water, or heavy winds, etc. That is called runoff phosphorus. After that, all consumers, primary consumers, secondary, tertiary, all consumers depend on producers. Okay. Hence, phosphorus transfer from producers to consumers to detritivores. That means what? After some time period, plants and animals die. Dead plant pots directly reaches to soil. That is called detritus. Detritus means nothing but dead organic matter. It is also called litter fall. Litter means dead plant pots. Dry and drop off, settle on the soil. That is called detritus, dead organic matter. Even consumers also die after some time period, because they have their particular lifespan. After completion of their lifespan, they die and settle on the soil as detritus. Then detritivores like earthworm, some scavengers like bacteria, fungus attack on detritus, decompose them and release phosphorus fertilizers and mix it with the soil. Again soil to plants to consumers to again soil. It is a cyclic process, hence it is called phosphorus cycle. The best example of sedimentary cycle. We are expecting questions from carbon cycle and phosphorus cycle. Very important, right? Don't forget. And the last concept, ecosystem services. A famous scientist, Robert Constanza. Ecosystem services. This is general concept, very dry topic. You just read NCERT lines, that is more than enough. Then practice objective questions. A famous scientist, Robert Constanza, and their colleagues, together estimated the average price tag of ecosystem services, because ecosystem provide the best services for human welfare. Some examples: pollination takes place by nature. What is pollination? transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is called pollination. It is all of various kinds: autogamy, geitonogamy, xenogamy, etc. Means nature itself naturally provide the source for pollination. Second service, restoration of fresh air. That means what? Foul air, polluted air replaced by fresh air. How? Plants perform photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plant liberates oxygen. Okay, so oxygen restore in atmosphere. Thereby, polluted air or foul air become fresh air. That is called restoration of air. Next, indirectly, rain also depend on plants, because plants release oxygen. Oxygen reaches to clouds. Thereby, clouds condense to form water. That means what? Water fall on the earth in the form of rain. That is called rainfall. Means what? Even rainfall also indirectly depend on plants. You might have studied water cycle in social studies class 9th and 10th. Remember the same concept. Nature itself provide fruits, vegetables, medicines, leafy vegetables, oils, edible oils, okay, spices, paper, cotton, fiber, wood, everything. So we obtain all these things from surrounding nature. Another best example of ecosystem services. Ecosystem services. Okay. These are some examples of ecosystem services. That in such a way, ecosystem provide the best services for human welfare. Based on this concept, Robert Constanja and their colleagues together tried to estimate what is price tag of ecosystem services, and they decided the average price tag of ecosystem services is about 36 trillions of US dollars. Very important. Okay. GNP stands for gross national product. Our total gross national product is about 18 US dollars. But the price tag of nature providing ecosystem services is approximately about 36 trillion American dollars. Means almost double. Almost double. GNP stands for gross national product. Means all over India, all population, they earn money. They earn money. Okay, that money approximately about 18 American dollars. 80 trillion. 80 trillion. 80 trillions, 18 trillions of American dollars. But the average price tag of ecosystem services is approximately about almost double. Okay, not 36, 33 billion, 33 trillion of American dollars. That is the importance of ecosystem services. In such a way, ecosystem provide all services, all primary needs to meet our needs. Without ecosystem, we may not meet our primary needs, initial needs. That is about ecosystem services. It is general concept, very dry topic. Once you go through NCERT lines, read NCERT lines. Wherever you have doubts, discuss with me. Okay, these are the main topics covered from ecosystem. This chapter completed. Dear students, all of you watch this video properly. This chapter is dry topic, but you don't feel bored. Watch compulsorily and carefully. Try to understand the concepts. After completion of watching video, immediately the same chapter read in NCERT. After completion of reading NCERT, practice objective questions. We are expecting at least one question, maximum 2 questions from this chapter. Each and every question important. Each question carry 4 marks. Each and every mark important. Even single mark also decide your free medical seat. Repeatedly I am singing the same song in front of you. Everything for sake of you, remember. Thanks a lot. Prepare well. Have a nice day.